Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new episode of Open Book Entrepreneur. I'm thrilled that we have Chris here with us all the way from Tampa, Florida. And he's a life coach and motivational speaker, public speaker. He's also been running a business for a long time as well. So, Chris, please introduce yourself to the audience and your business.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Chris Baus. Like was said, I'm a master life coach and a public speaker. The name of my company is Awareness to Obtain. I'm available on multiple social media platforms. I'm not hard to find.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so, what actually inspired you to start and get into this business of life coaching and public speaking?
That's a great question. Mainly, to full disclosure, I uh, I had 25 years of active addiction with alcohol and drugs, and when I got sober, a life coach was very instrumental in helping me save my life and get my life back together. And after that experience with him, I realized that I was passionate to do the same thing with others. So I started doing it first like pro bono as addiction counseling and addiction coaching. And then I decided to go back to school and got my master's certification and started life coaching. And also because of my business experience, it kind of grew into also public speaking. I do business leadership seminars. I also do Alcoholics Anonymous conventions, like all different kinds of things. So it's kind of weird. I just wanted to be an impact and be of service to people, and it's kind of blown up into this thing that I didn't even expect.
Totally, totally. But this usually happens when
Hmm.
you actually align yourself with your mission, with your vision
Hmm.
for life. And yeah, I'm also certified master life coach and neuro linguistic programming coach. And I can see, how much difference this can make in someone's life. And similar to your story, I was actually pulled into this about 14 years ago when I was doing the course with everyone else to actually help myself. When we were doing the exercises, all these other coaches, they were asking me, "Oh, by the way, Tony, can you?" They were seeing the changes they were going through, and they were asking me to be their coach, even though we were studying together. So that's how I
Hmm.
was pulled into it, and I can imagine, how something similar actually happened to you
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, it was one of those things where don't want to get into my whole life story. We don't have time, but I was really at the bottom. I got divorced. I lost custody of my children. Like on the outside, I was successful, but the inside, my life was falling apart. And got sober and didn't really know where to turn. I got a life coach, and he kind of helped me figure out the action steps that it was going to take to do the personal development myself. And I really like how he one-on-one helped me. You know what I mean? He listens. Like, especially as men, we think that nobody cares and nobody wants to listen, right? And this guy literally was there for me when no one else was. And and that meant so much to me that I thought, you know what, now that I've been through this experience, I want to do this for other people. And so, like you said, I took some courses and I did some things, and the joy that I get from especially helping other men get their life back together is more fulfilling than anything within my 25-year business career, for sure.
Wonderful. And, speaking about your story and also about what you're working with your clients, what are the typical results someone can expect when they're working with you?
Yeah, mainly I help them with, any kind of fear-based trauma. It could be imposter syndrome, it could be unworthiness, it could be any of that. We most people's problems are fear-based, right? Like that's just the way it is. We have all these fears and we don't know how to overcome them. So what I do is I first help them dig in and find the root of the problem, which is usually fear-based, and then I help them figure out daily action steps that they can take to start to overcome those things. And the goal is to do exactly what I did, and start living the life that you truly want to live.
Wow. And what actually was the major sort of trigger for the shift in your life that happened? I mean, obviously, you mentioned you worked with the coach and that helped
Yeah.
you.
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, he really he showed me that I didn't even realize, but I hated myself. I hated what I saw in the mirror. I hated everything about me, and I didn't even realize it because I was a people pleaser. So I put my self worth on what other people thought of me, right? So if you liked me, then I kind of liked myself. And when I realized that I was doing that because I didn't like what I saw in the mirror, then that was goal number one, right? The self love, to figure out a way to like what I saw in the mirror. And then once I was able to accomplish that through exercise, meditation, mirror talks. I mean, you're a coach, you know, part of the steps, you know, and I did all those things. And when I actually could be okay with the person I was looking at, then it was a matter of, okay, start working on positive mindset, start working on being a better father, a better husband. And just to let you guys know, I was married for 25 years, got divorced. I'm now remarried to that same woman. I'm back in my children's life. Like
Wow.
it's possible, right? Like you, just because you fell down does not mean you can't get back up.
Yeah, I got the tear in my eye. Seriously, congratulations on
Thank
going
you.
on such a big transformation, and also, thank you so much for sharing the story because it's important for others to see, that they don't have to be alone, that they don't have to be unheard, and so
Yes.
based on what you went through, in your experience, and also seeing all these other people that you're coaching as well, like what would you recommend to someone? When is a good time to really start looking for a coach, approaching a coach, or just getting a coach?
I would say now, right? And I don't want to say that my business is only based for men, but I do work with a lot of men, and I think, like I said earlier, it's because we think nobody cares. We think there's nobody to talk to, right? And that's my biggest goal with my own podcast and my social media, is to let guys know out there that there are people that care. There are people that want to listen. There are people that want to help you, right? And because I felt so alone and I felt like nobody knew where I was at and no one could help me. So I didn't even bother telling anybody what was going on, right? So if you feel like you're just a little bit off and like you're going through the motions and you're not happy, right? That's the goal for everything, is happiness. You can have money, you can have all these other things, but if you're not happy, then it's kind of not in line. Just find somebody and talk to them. I give gift sessions. I do all kind of things for people out there. So just reach out to me on social media. I'll give you all my links so you can put them out there. I'm here. My goal in all of this was not to become famous or make money or any of that. It was to help other people the way I was helped. And I am totally willing to do that with anybody.
And that's really powerful because when someone is actually living the life like you, and also
Mhm.
doing a business of coaching like you, where you just like open up to the world, I believe that's the best sort of way to be able to help people without expecting anything in
Yeah.
return. It's
Yeah.
just wonderful. Yeah, really
Yeah.
well done,
I'm
man.
I'm sure you're the same way. I'm a big believer. In order to help somebody, you have had to have walked through the fire that they're going through, right? And so that's why I like to put my story out there. It's not embarrassing to me. I don't want to say I'm proud of it, but it made me who I am, right? I had to go through everything that I did so that I could be in a position to help others, right?
Totally.
So I want them to know who I am, what I went through, so they can see that, you know what, this guy can help me.
Yes, 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 totally. And I 100% align with this because in my own business, I'm now, for a number of years doing business consulting and business coaching. And what happened? I've
Yeah.
been running a business since 2006, so almost many years,
Yeah.
almost 20
Yeah.
years. Yeah. But the thing is, what happens is that I had so many businesses that failed. And because of the failures, it made me who I am today, and it made me understand what needs to be done in order to succeed. And this
Yeah.
is, I believe that Michael Jordan actually said this, that he missed so many shots and
Yeah.
he lost so many games, but that's why he became a champion.
Yeah.
And I'm a true believer of this, that once you go through something like this, you can really seriously help others when you sort of like
Yeah.
put yourself into it.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, your greatest lessons are learned from failure, right? Like I have learned more from being on the bottom than I ever did being on the top.
Yeah.
Right. And we talked a little bit about, I had a junior tennis career. I played college baseball. I actually spent 7 years in the rock and roll business. Like I have a lot of highs in my life, but all those things really don't teach you anything. It's when you're at the bottom and you have nowhere to turn and you have to figure out a way to get yourself back up. Those are where the real lessons come in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's funny also that there is so many places where we sort of align as well, because I was not really in rock and roll. I was rapping, in a band as well, and we
Oh,
had a really big hit in the 90s. And
mhm.
then obviously, I coached mindset in tennis for many years, traveled the world, and been to Florida many times as well. So yeah, it's fantastic to really have you as a guest here and to share your story. Thank you so much for that. So if someone actually wants to get in touch with you, I know you mentioned social media, but just let us know, where they can find
Yeah,
you, and I can share the
yeah.
links as well.
Um, Instagram, awareness to obtain Instagram. I also have a YouTube channel with the same name,
What's the name?
and
Sorry.
awareness to obtain.
Awareness to obtain. So I can share the
Yep.
link as well in the description
Yep.
of this
And
podcast.
I'll send you the links after this. And also you can find me at Christopher Baus on Facebook. And I have a website that is awareness2obtain.com.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you again for sharing your story, being a fantastic guest. And yeah, everyone, thank you for listening. And if you like this episode, drop us a like and subscribe, and see you in the next episode.